What are some things parents can do to ensure their children have a strong foundation in reading and writing?
Okay, so I mentioned that I worked with UNICEF in Jamaica, and my first position was as the early childhood development head of section in UNICEF Jamaica. And so one aspect of my job was to assess early childhood centers, basic schools, preschools, daycare centers across the island. And one thing that we found was that it was very much rote learning, you know, learning the alphabet, learning the numerals, you know, a very rigid way of helping children to, you know, gain basic skills. And the first thing you sort of learn in terms of the profession of early childhood is how much learning needs to be experiential in these early stages of learning, reading, and writing. Those symbols are meaningless really to a child. You know, it's really how they experience patterns. So writing is about, you know, even learning how to join dots or to see patterns of similarity or differences or categories of things that are similar or different. And this is why programs like Sesame Street have been so important, is because they understand that way of learning, which is about experiential learning, which is very much about seeing these patterns and speaking about them. But it's also about experiencing things tactically, you know, because we have 5 senses, so we have to use them to help children learn. And so it's about, you know, tracing things with a finger and feeling what that feels like, and seeing things in the atmosphere that, you know, in your environment, and seeing things that look like letters, look like numbers. And I think also music is a very important part, you know, especially Jamaican children who, you know, learn by lyrics. It's something that could be used more. I think there's now been more maybe in the previous times of that acknowledgement that music can be a critical part of learning. So I think for reading, children need to hear stories. You know, if you see a good children's book, it's one that repeats itself and has a kind of lyrical rhyme to it, you know, so that it's soothing, it's repetitive. Children love repetition. You know, you see a baby and they'll drop something on the floor 10 times, and you pick it up and they're still dropping it again. So I think repetition is important. Again, speaking a lot, pointing out these things and asking children questions. You know, reading a lot of books that take children into different worlds. And I think writing, you know, is also something that is not just about forming letters. It's about expression, you know, even if it's a set of words, you know, what does it mean to a child? And different ages, I mean, obviously it's not just about letter formation and numerals. It's about forming concepts and storylines and getting children to graduate in terms of what they're able to do. So I think it's a journey, but it's one that recognizes that the alphabet and learning 1, 2, 3 is actually not that, you know, it doesn't carry you the distance that you can go when you help a child to learn through experience.
Well, let me hear you say,